Hello and welcome back to Queen's Wish 2, and this time we will move to the north from the Tower of the Erudico, and my guess is that we will have to do a lot of talking again, but yeah, we will see about that. So the sign says General Coast south, High Litha north, Tower of the Erudico south. Alright. Let's see if we survive and whether there are some additional enemies which will kill us now. The valley opens into a high plain, a broad stretch of wind-swept scrubland high up in the mountains of the Rokai. The wind is bitter cold and you can see wide patches of snow higher up. The trees are hardy evergreens and edible plants, and game are few and far between. You have entered the High Litha, one of the Rose's 4 provinces. It is large in land, but low in population. A cold and austere land for a cold and austere people. This will not be a comfortable visit. Your orders were clear. Contact and judge their governor. Find their Raza and hear his petition. It's sort of hard to concentrate on all that. Right now, you just want a place to get warm. And we are just arriving in the cold, so... High Litha. Alright, there is a large encampment and guard post at the entrance of the High Litha. There aren't a lot of guards though, makes sense, there isn't much here to raid. The Lethans here welcome you and motion for you to sit. You are provided with the tea and coarse bread. They are quiet and reserved folk. They don't talk a lot, and there's no gossip or news of the road. Happily, they're willing to answer questions. They're here to guide and protect travelers after all. Tell me about the High Litha. One of the Lethans speaks for them all. He shows no insignia or other signs of rank. We are poor and simple people scraping by in the high mountains. We wish to be left alone, but we accept our fate. Any threats on the road? Things are more peaceful up here in the mountains. The lower folk respect us and leave us be. We are the true keepers of the deep truth of the Rokai. I'd like to know more about that. We are not wise, we are only road guards. You come to see our Raza prince? Raza Suharum is wise enough to speak for us. Does Haven have a fort near here? Fort Hailstone is to the west, that's all I need. The Lethans quietly nod, satisfied that they have been useful. With regrets, you leave their fire and face the icy wind. Alright, what's that? Tombstone? You find a large stone monument about 30 feet high out here in this remote, peaceful location. There's a crude carving of a raw warrior on the top of the pillar. For hundreds of years, travelers have been chipping names in the stone at the base. Names have been laid over other names again and again, leaving a thick, incomprehensible mess. A few bowls and dried flowers are at the base of the pillar, probably a monument or memorial of some sort. Alright. So we are very close to the fort already. And there is a river, so... You find a group of scruffy soldiers patrolling the road. When you get close, you see with relief that they are Heavenite soldiers. They are thrilled to see you and show you all appropriate courtesy. Their arms and armor are dirty and not well maintained, but they don't seem ashamed of it. You decide not to mention it. It can be very hard to keep things shiny out here in the edges of civilization. They tell you that Fort Hailstone is just down the road to the west, and your arrival was eagerly awaited. That's Fort Hailstone. You see massive, reassuring walls in the distance. Walls means that you have found another of your fortresses. It is on the east side of the river, surrounded by mostly abandoned campsites and a few patches of struggling crops. This fort, like others you have seen, shows signs of neglect and disrepair. Many of the outbuildings have been abandoned, and the whole place needs supplies and repairs. At least the High Litha seems less chaotic and less chaotic and immediately rebellious than the other provinces. There are simply fewer people up here. So we are now in the High Litha, and I'm just quickly making a note here. High Litha. And the Raza 1 second. Lodaga, Kranas Woods. I'm making some notes on my other PC now. High Litha. We have the Kranas Woods. And we have the Lodaga. And of course the Gentle Coast. Gentle Coasts. And I'm making some notes regarding who's the leader and whether or not they like us and whatever. Alright, Fort Hailstone. Now entering Fort Hailstone. Alright. Fort Guard, townsperson, Haven Courier. You enter Fort Hailstone. Haven's fort's in the lower half of the High Litha. It is a cold, grey place. As is usual for the High Litha, the streets are mostly empty except for your soldiers training in the cold. Your arrival creates the expected reaction. Soldiers and officials come out to take a look at you. When you look at the crumbling buildings, they see them with fresh eyes and are appalled by how far this fort has been allowed to decay. This fort is now under your control. You have access to its resources and you can rebuild its buildings and shops. Also, you can now recruit High Litha warriors in the added party window. And we get 4 of these. Nice. Okay. Let's talk to the courier. There's a Helvanite soldier waiting in front of this hall. She has a sword, bow, heavy satchel and light leather armor. Her armor is covered with the dirt of a long journey on the road. She must be a courier. When she sees you, she runs up to you and bows. Greetings, Prince. I'm Messenger Lethia. Greetings. I am lucky to have found you. The roads are hard and the High Lethans do not give helpful directions. Why have you sought me? I've been sent by General Angach of Laskara. There's unwelcome but urgent news. What is the news? She takes a deep breath. Raza Elha has been assassinated. You aren't sure how to feel, but Lethia definitely is unhappy. Okay, that was unexpected. Remind me who Raza Elha was. She was the Raza of the Gentle Coast. She led them from her seat in Laskara. She is the woman who gave you permission to travel the pilgrimage road. You also met her briefly when passing through the Tower of the Rudico. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I just made the notes. Okay. Okay, how was the Raza killed? I believe there was a magical explosion in the hall in Laskara. What am I supposed to do? Lethia is startled. Being asked for advice from a prince is not what she expected. She stammers. Well, if you wanted to learn more or investigate, you could return to Laskara. There's going to be a lot of upsets. The Ro are pretty touchy. My general could tell you more. That is all I can think of. Thank you for this news. Dismissed, she bows again. Thank you, Prince. I'm sorry I don't have better things. I will return to my duties. She departs to safer lands. Okay, Gentle Coast, dead. Alright. So, we have to go back to Laskara. Check with Raza. Okay, that was interesting. Alright. Pretty sure that there will also be some conversations in the portal. Before we get into any of the buildings, we will first just run around and explore the city. Well, the fort and whatever is left of it. That's pretty much it. That's probably a tower. Heaven soldier. Let's go in here. Okay. Yep. All right. So we only have that one building. Besides of the guard tower. Welcome, Prince. Chief Markov. Okay. Then I will also make a note for the... Well, we have this Raza, we have one representative of Haven in the city, and representative in city, and we have the governor of the fort, basically. Let's call him Fort Manager. Fort Manager. So in the High Litha, that Fort Manager is Markov. Alright. The main hall of Fort Hailstone. Let's call... Okay, Fort... Fort is called Hailstone. The main hall of Fort Hailstone is run down, typical for a fort neglected and starved of supplies. The buildings and halls are cramped and in need of a good cleaning. The grandeur that Haven uses to intimidate its vassals is entirely absent. Still, it is warm, and there are beds upstairs you can use to rest. The chief is sitting in the hall keeping warm by the fire. The few Lethans who bother to talk to Haven can come here to give petitions. None are here now. Haven Sage. Though this fort seems neglected and poorly supplied from the outside, its armory is filled to bursting with arms and armor. A lot of it is freshly made and oiled. Recently sent. Someone has been quietly preparing for warfare for some time. Huh. Interesting. A magical workshop has been built here. It's a small room that's been crammed with all of the equipment that can fit. It's all new and barely used. The captain of the garrison here is a mage. She's setting up and testing the equipment. Its eventual purpose is not clear. Captain Tanya. This young mage wears the insignia of captain on her robes. She is pale and thin like most people in the High Litha, yet she has managed to remain upbeat. Welcome, Prince. It is an honor, she boasts deeply. I am Captain Tanya of the Haven Military Sages, consultant to magical engineers. I hope our humble workshop meets with your approval. Tell me about this post, Captain. I don't have much to say yet. I am only a recent transfer. The air and the people are cold, but the land is beautiful and I have a lot to do. I hope my years in this post pass quickly. How is the weather? Cold, usually dry, though, and we get a share of the sun. It will be worse up in the Glacier Keep. The upper Litha is pretty miserable, or so I hear. How's the food? Ah, it's raw food. Dried venison and bitter berries sustains life and makes you ready for war. Also those sour fermented raw drinks. Don't ask what they are fermenting in there. Just choke it down. That's my advice. Why did you choose to come here? It wasn't my first choice, of course. I don't like suffering that much. I picked this pose as part of a night and day exchange. Night and day? Oh, it's a standard practice. A young soldier takes a 5-year post somewhere lousy. In return, the next 7 years are somewhere nice and easy. 5 years of night, 7 years of day. I'm thinking of going to Sacramento next. Restless and wild, of course, but lots of good opportunities for the ambitions. Sacramento was the land of Queen's Wish 1, I think. I have another question. Captain Tanya wanders around her newly born workshop, making sure everything is functional and where it should be. She shows off all of the equipment she has obtained. Getting good supplies up here, apart from Quicksilver, is quite difficult. I'd like to know more about the High Litha. I would too. It would make me a lot less nervous to be up here. They are hard folk to talk to, though. You're likely to learn more. What makes you nervous? When you talk to a Lethan, it's like none of their inner thoughts ever come out. It's like talking to a mask. You can see for yourself. There's a watcher upstairs. A watcher? Some sort of an important Lethan. Studies that is going on in the world and reports back to the clans up here. Then they make decisions for all the people, just based on what the Watchers say. But I'm not here to judge. The Rogue get angry when they feel judged. Why would I be more likely to learn more? Because you're a prince. The High Lithans don't respect much, but they have respect that, don't they? Plus, there's also the other thing. The other thing? You're a half-row, aren't you? Your father's from here. Blood is important to these people. I'm sure they are all thinking about it, even if they say nothing. I have another question. Any problems lately? Rumors of problems. The Row keep all their tombs up here. Normally, they are just quiet caves full of bones guarded by wild beasts. Lately, though, the spirits walk. Tell me about the spirits. She shrugs. Lots of rumors of shades roaming through the old crypts. They have mages called mist talkers. They go and keep angry spirits under control. Get them back into their graves. I'm not sure why the dead are walking and the Row aren't talking. Wild beasts? Any good hunting around here? She thinks about this. Well, we do have a pest. Might make a good trophy for you. An ice drake has been hunting near here. Young, dumb and arrogant. It's been getting closer and closer to Vassal lands. Intriguing. She grins. Thought you'd like the sound of that. It's been hunting in the unsettled wilds due north of here, between here and the river. If you can kill it, I'd pay a bounty. Then I'd send a sage to gather some dried scales. Cool. That's all for now. Thanks. And this is likely not a dungeon, so we can just attempt that and maybe get some XP without going into a dungeon. That would be nice, but it's probably not enough for a level up. Alright. And there's the mirror. Nothing inside there. And of course the mirror is active. The mirror starts to sparkle when you pass by. Someone far away strongly wishes to speak with you. Use the mirror to talk to Haven. When it is sparkling, someone is trying to contact you. Yeah, we know that. Before we do that, we will read that one. The Great Uprising. In Haven, year 430, the Rukai rose up in rebellion against Haven. It's not known why the Row decided to violate that Treaty of Valasach. Whatever event, crime, or a bit of resentment caused one of the Row to pick up a blade is unknown. Actually, let me make a note so that I'm not reading them 1,000 times. The Great Uprising. Okay. Books. Yeah. The result, however, is burned into this land. The first killings of Havenites began in the hills of the Low Darga. A long simmering resentment against Haven's control resulted in violence spreading through the mountains like a fever. Only the gentle coast remained loyal, and that is what saved Haven. The Empire's soldiers and workers, or the few that survived, came to the coast and helped Haven's army safely land and begin their merciless assault. The resulting war lasted for years, but in the end the Row were ground down by Haven's disciplined warriors and powerful magic. Since the uprising, the Row has been a peaceful, productive member of Haven's empire. Only one punishment from the time of the uprising remains. The cities of the Rokai are not allowed to have walls. When you approach the mirror, it fills with reddish turbulent mist. You hear Sutter's voice. Cordano, I have a report. You have entered the High Litha. He sounds agitated. What's wrong? My list of tasks increases by the day and I can't possibly keep up. Feel lucky you only have one Vassal's day to babysit. The High Litha? You entered it? I have. I see. What did you think? It's pretty cold. I don't have a strong impression yet. You will have one soon. The air is thin and cold up there. It forges the Row, makes them hard. You will have to be very careful. The High Litha contains two great treasures. Two treasures? Quicksilver, that is what they mine and trade to be able to survive up there on that barren icy rock. But there's a greater treasure. Their approval. Their approval? The High Litha keeps all of the traditions of the Rokai. When the Row is confused, they turn to the hard people of the High Litha for judgment. They are truly independent in their minds. It is very important for you to stay on their good side. Why does Haven tolerate their independence? They are obedient to us, but their thoughts are free. Haven does not care what our vassals think of us as long as they remain peaceful and obedient. How can I make them love us? You can't. They will never, ever love us. The Row is too wild and free for that. Independence will always be the dream of their hearts. You need to keep them from picking up swords. What do I need to do? The High Litha are obedient to our laws. They hold the wilderness and independence of the Row as their deep truth, but they tell their people to tolerate us. For now. You need to make sure that doesn't change. You need to check in with our governor. I don't expect any problems there, but you also need to talk to their Raza. That is the hardest part. You need to what? What happened? Cordano, I have bad news. We need to conclude this. How do I... Okay, probably not relevant what I pick now. The governor won't be a problem. Our governor in the High Litha only needs to do one thing, nothing. Make sure our woman there is doing plenty of nothing. That will keep the Raza from growing angry. How do I deal with the Raza? You need to convince him that they have nothing to gain from forcing Haven to crush them. Find him, say nice things. If he submits to you, all of the row will. Conclude your business there. I need you elsewhere. Sutter's voice fades out. The mist clears. Convince him that they have nothing to gain from forcing Haven to crush them. Okay. But of course, it's still blinking. When you approach the mirror, it fills with red mist. When Delia starts to talk, most people would consider her tone very calm and controlled. You know better. She only pulls out that icy tone when she's very, very angry. My brother, I assume you have heard by now, Raza Elha, leader of the Gentle Coast, has been assassinated. Let me quickly also make a note that she was called Elha. No, Elha. Elha. Okay. Yes, things are out of control here. Can I come home now? Great. I heard. This is very bad news. Does one official of one of our results really matter? I heard. This is very bad news. Worse than that, it is an insult. A powerful official, favored and loyal to Haven, incinerated in daylight. This must be answered. First the raids, then the attack on you. Now this. The row must be pacified. What do we now? What do we know? This was no ally stabbing. This was a serious attack with the involvement of powerful magic. This was a hired assassination by enemies with considerable power and resources. Okay, so from the assassination guild or what? Who hired the assassin? Completely unknown. However, they are probably the same ones who have been destabilizing the region, including the attack on you. We will send spies investigating as soon as we can. Who did the killing? We are trying to find out. Unfortunately, it was probably the work of the Geldnas. Yeah, the Assassin's Guild of the Rokai. Bad news, if true. The Geldnas usually only kill those who don't follow the deep truths of the row. For them to kill one loyal to us, yeah, that's probably not good. What effect will this have to the row, on the row? Delia's composure breaks. Who knows? Nothing good. The row are wild people, barely controllable on the best day, and this killing has made us look like fools, utter fools, and I assume you have advice for me. You hear a sigh. You can picture her shaking her head. You have a mission. Carry it out. Leave. The violence necessary to beat down the road doesn't require you to be there. You think they will try to kill me? I think they already have. Prince, I want you to come home. It's just not possible yet. Don't do anything reckless. What should I do? Same as before. You need to finish your business there. Prove the governors, pacify the surviving Razas. Just do it quickly and safely. These assassins are dangerous. They will be hunted down. They have people for that. You don't need to worry about it. I really should be brought home now. I will do my best to get things under control. I trust you, Cordano. You have come so far, but know your limits. The Queen's orders were very clear. Just do it quickly and safely. I must go now. Urgent briefing. Watch yourself, Cordano. We are worried about you. Her voice fades. And, of course, it's still blinking. When you approach the mirror, you hear your mother's voice. The Queen says, Prince, I will talk to you. We must talk. Her voice seems strange, distant, unfocused. It is strange, probably wavering in the enchantment of the mirror. I have had a report. You have regained control of the fourth fort. I'm ready to make a report, and I'm sure you have advice for me. I'm ready to make a report. Do you have other commands? And I'm sure you have advice for me. No, there's a long pause. Not now. I'm sure you are doing fine. Mother, are you alright? I'm fine, of course. I just was thinking how you are traveling the row alone. Not like before, when you were young. When your father was alive, all of us took a trip to the Rokai. Diplomacy, I suppose, but also a rare vacation. Do you remember it? I don't remember it. I was very small. I remember very little, just images. I remember some things, cold mountains and fierce warriors. Very little. Unfortunate, but not a surprise. Still, I wanted the clean raw air in your lungs, she laughs. You were a difficult child. I thought it would calm you. Foolish, the raw never calms anyone. She lets out a long, sad sigh. It is unlike her. I wish I could help you remember that trip. So many things happened. Such as? We all went riding up into the High Litha to see the Mistalkers, to have them see you. Your brother and sister were so small, but they rode alone. You sat in your father's lap. We rode over the snow. We came to an old crypt. There an old Mistalker woman spoke with us. Do we have time for this? And what did you learn? Oh, she pretended to talk to the shades. Gave us all fortunes. Great fortune, good health, the standard pep. Did nothing for your father. But then she came to you and she said you were touched, watched by the spirits. She said you would... Yes? I don't know. I don't remember now. Good work on the fort. We'll talk soon. Her voice fades. Alright. And it's still blinking. Maybe that's a bit much. When you approach the mirror, it fills with wisps of mists and agitated sparks of light. The queen speaks to you. My child, I have contacted you as quickly as I could. Yeah, we see. The news came to me quickly. Raza Elha was assassinated in Laskara. She was one of our closest allies in that savage land. Her death is a loss and very worrying. I have heard. Raza Elha? Elha who? The land is becoming unpleasant. It should be crushed. I have heard. Then you must appreciate how dangerous this is. Someone who was brave enough, mad enough to kill a leader who supported Haven. This is an attack on us, not as bad as trying to kill you and Sutter, but it demands a strong response. Who killed Elha? Most likely the Gelnas, the Assassin's Guild of the Rukai. That is not the key question. The question is, who hired them? What should I do about it so they are not acting on their own? Nothing. They are an integral part of the Rukai politics, and thus we shouldn't tamper with them without great care. The person who ordered the assassination is our target. What do you know about the assassination? Raza Elha was killed by an explosion, a magical trap in a ceremonial gift. She lacked the magical protections I had placed on you. She was charred along with some of her guards. An expensive and highly skilled bit of work. How do we proceed from here? We have given this thought. We must not show weakness. We have agents. Investigations are happening. Armies are being moved. In the meantime, continue your missions as before. Hear the Raza petitions. Evaluate our governors. Why is the Rukai fighting us? It is their way. Every vassal has some malcontents. It is the way of the Ro that their rebels will be bloodier and more headstrong than most. Perhaps I was a little neglectful, but you are there now. Soon they will have nothing to complain about. I'm not concerned. Maybe I should be brought home immediately. I will redouble my efforts to calm the Rukai. That is wise. Most of their white folk still welcome the presence of Haven. Completing your mission will calm and reassure them. It is the best thing you can do. Good luck, my child. The mirror returns normal. It would be, but it's not, because it's still blinking for just another conversation. Princess Delia's voice emerges from the mirror. She is confused. Oh, Kordanor, hello. We are both very busy. I need a moment, though. I received a letter from Erud Alsov of the Erudico Tower. Go on. He tells us that you authorized him to get books, works of science, history, military theory. It's quite a list. He said that you visited their tower and made all sorts of promises. That's interesting. Yes, that happened. I see, Kordanor. Haven's knowledge is valuable. It is one of our greatest treasures. We don't throw it to just anyone, especially to a vassal on the edge of a rebellion. Do you really intend for us to send these books? Now that the Ro is unstable, giving them more power may cause great difficulties for us all. They are our vassal, we should help them. We should be trying to make the Rukai a stronger ally. Our doubts are noted. Your doubts are noted. Please send the books anyway. I see your point, don't send the books. We should be trying to make the Rukai a stronger ally. They're our vassal, we should help them. We help them with our wisdom and guidance, which they are in the process of rejecting. Knowledge is a reward for good behavior. The Ro are not well behaved. We should be trying to make Rukai a stronger ally. Maybe someday. Right now we are just trying to make them in control and not trying to murder our princess. There are lots of gifts we can give them. I question this one. Your doubts are noted. Please send the books anyway. Delia lets out a long theatrical sigh. She's trying to make you feel guilty, and she succeeds. A little. Alright, my brother. I will trust your judgment on this. A few books will be sent. Enough to make them happy, not enough to do real damage. That concludes this matter. What else should we talk about? Oh, we have so much to talk about. The palace really isn't the same without you here. We will be together again and able to talk freely soon. For now, the queen is trying to marry me off again. Can you imagine? Like we don't have enough to worry about. She laughs. Talk to you soon. The audience ends. Finally, that was the last conversation with that mirror. Now, we still have to talk to Chief Markov. Let's do that then. There's also a portrait here. The chief of Fort Hailstone is like the fort itself, old and worn down. He's your standard failed bureaucrat of Haven. He probably made some political mistake 20 years ago and was rewarded for it with a career in the ice. You've learned to recognize the type. He stands and bows to you with a resigned, doomed air. Okay. Welcome, Prince, to Fort Hailstone. I am Chief Markov, and I truly appreciate this great honor. I apologize. Apologize for what? The fort is not in good condition. We did our best with the supplies sent up by the governors of the wealthier provinces. The results are not ideal. It's fine. We all have done what we can with the resources we have. There are problems. I'm here to solve them. I won't be here long enough to care. When I have time, I will decide how you are to be punished. There are problems, I'm here to solve them. And I have instructed my forces to do everything they can to help. The High Litha is poor, but that is no excuse for this mess. Tell me more about your situation here. It is mostly the same as it has been for all the years I've been here. This is a standard fort for the far edge of our empire. We are poor and ever under threat. We keep the walls up and our soldiers fed. This has always been enough. It may still be, though, that there have been some disruptions. Why are all of our forts so neglected? I can't speak for the other governors. I don't know what their forts are like. In the High Litha, we are reliant on the supplies and materials of the lower governors send. They send little. Why? Well, you should meet the governors Artu and Yvette. Once you learn about them, their decisions may make more sense. How long have you been here? I have served Haven for 25 years. 20 of them have been here. He spares you from sad tales about his career. In 5 years I retire with my soldier's pension. I want to feel the warmth of the sun before I die. There have been some disruptions. The High Litha is a land of ghosts. Normally that is a bit of poetry. Lately it's been more literal. The tombs and crypts of the mountains have had more dead walking than usual. I don't really worry about it though. You don't worry about it? It's a standard phenomenon in any vessel that keeps a lot of bodies in a magical rich area. These disruptions will happen from time to time. The High Lethans do seem a bit upset, I think. You will find that it is hard to read them. I have another question. Chief Markov sits with you and plies you with tea and unpleasant snacks. He shares the best of his fort with you, fully aware that it is inadequate. Oh well, at least the fire is warm. Okay, tell me more about the High Litha. Well, it is the largest, poorest, coldest, least populated province of the Rokai. It occupies the wild, barren peaks of these mountains. The people here are severe and remote. I have been here so long and I have learned too little about them. Maybe that will change. They are much closer now. Are you ever forced to interact with them? Of course, they come to me, settle all sorts of little grievances. The clans up here squabble as much as everyone else. They are just not a demonstrative people. To outsiders, they say the minimum whenever possible. You have learned nothing about them? I have learned the only important thing. Every role sees the High Lethans as the smartest and wisest among them. Lots of respect. To which I ask, if they're so smart and wise, why do they live in this wasteland? He chuckles. Don't tell them I said that. How are they closer now? One of their watchers asked to stay here. Governor Ivana told me to give him quarters upstairs. Tell me more. The High Lethans watch over the row. They help settle the major disputes among the people. To keep track of what is happening, they send out watchers to the provinces. They have one here. Lucky us. He's upstairs. Good luck getting him to talk. I have another question. I want to rebuild this fort. I want to help. It should get a fresh coat of paint every generation or two. The High Litha doesn't have much wealth though. A little wood, bed stone. The main thing mined up here is quicksilver. Valuable stuff for trading and for alchemy. Sounds intriguing. Where can I get more quicksilver? Haven owns a claim up here. It's called the Spiral Mine. A good producer of the ore that produces quicksilver. I'd love to put it at your disposal, but it's not been sending product. Not for weeks. If you can set them straight, I will happily put all they make at your disposal. The Spiral Mine is an odd name. It comes from a funny little nickname. There's something in its tunnels that plays with the minds of the miners. Makes them walk in spirals. Where's the Spiral Mine? Dug out of a mountain to the west, across the river and across the icy waste. What exactly is wrong there? Honestly, I'm not sure. They sent regular shipments, then they stopped. And you haven't investigated? Of course I have. I sent messages. They say everything is fine. I sent soldiers to check in. They say everything seems fine. And then no quicksilver ever arrives. I'm hoping the presence of a prince will scare them into fixing their problems. That's all for now. Thanks. Alright, new quest. And now let's go upstairs and talk to this watcher guy. Fort Hailstone. This is a large storeroom. They're here to keep their rations for long stretches of time. The High Litha can get snowed in for months. It's wise to keep lots of supplies around. All of the shelves are empty. Odd. The High Litha, and I think we had that already. The High Litha. The High Litha is the highest region of the Rokai that still sustains a stable population. The folk who survive in the isolated villages of the High Litha are a quiet, stoic people. Outsiders may even characterize them as grim. I don't remember having read that though. Few people live in the High Litha. Almost all are miners and warriors, defending their peaks and mining quicksilver out of the icy mines. They survive in part from offerings given by the lower provinces. So the lands below revere the poor, harsh folk of the High Litha. These peaks are seen as the keepers of the deep truth of the row. When there are disputes among the clans of the hills and coasts, the Raza of the High Litha is often called to adjudicate. More important, when the Rokai is occupied by invaders, which has happened many times, the folk of the High Litha are often the ones who decide when an uprising is called for. When the support of the High Litha is lost, the Rokai turns violent very quickly. Haven mostly leaves the High Litha alone. Their empire learned early on that there's nothing to be gained from trying to intimidate these folk. That's this watcher guy. Nothing in there. Nothing here. Locked, and you don't have the key. Haven soldier. And this is also empty. So only this guy. Alright. And there is something hidden. Paper. Oh, great. Okay. Let's talk to Watcher Kremlin then. There is an old graying scarecrow of a man sitting alone at this table. Empty shelves loom above him. The guards keep their distance. He's not a Heavenite. He is a man of the High Litha, clad in heavy worn leather. He doesn't rise to meet you, but he does motion for you to sit with him and have tea. Hello, you are the prince. Your presence is noted. He makes a note on a sheet of parchment. I am Watcher Kremlin. You are from the High Litha? I am born there, serve here. I would like to learn more about the High Litha. You should, and you will. Okay. How am I supposed to do that? By seeing our land, by meeting us. That is the only way to bring justice. You wait for elaboration, none comes. It doesn't seem like the High Lithians talk a lot. We don't. Oh. After a moment, Kremlin sighs. We are not as cold as Heavenites think. We come together, tell tales, dance, laugh. Like human life. Live human lives. like that. Okay. We are now slow to trust outsiders. We are most open with our clans and our cousin clans. I have another question. He doesn't rise to meet you, but he does motion for you to sit with him and have tea. Hello, you are the prince. Your presence is noted. Yeah. It doesn't seem like the High... Okay. What is a watcher? We are High Lithans, honored for our wisdom and clear eyes. We are sent out into the world to watch. Here I watch you. Why do the High Lithans send out watchers? The High Lithans are honored. We hold the deep truths of the row. Watchers find where our people stray from our truth. And why exactly are you watching, Haven? It is a troubled time. There's chaos, and Haven has remembered that we exist. I have to watch Haven. What you decide will affect us. I have another question. Okay, can I ask you about something? I watch, I know much. If I can, I will share. I need to talk to you, Raza. Oh, Raza Suharum. Okay. Zuharum. Is usually in Jajajim. If he is not there, he is sure to be in one of our other cities. All of the shelves here are empty. Yes, your chief and governor have made many interesting decisions lately. That is all. I wish you a safe visit to the High Litha and a safe departure. No further quests. Interesting. Okay, but there's nothing else. Maybe we can talk to this guy again. Nope. Okay. Alright, so let's check what we can... So, which character is the, like, the old one? This one is not from any, like, other culture thing. We also have this Aram Peaks. I'm not sure. I mean, there's no fort, so you probably don't get an additional type of character there. So edit party, we probably need another priest then, but maybe we also use that culture, whatever, for something different than cleric. So either way, let's create a character from the High Litha. Yeah, I don't know what they have yet, so would be nice to just have a randomized button, but yeah, without that silly smile. Gregor the cleric. All right. Edit cleric. Oh no. Yeah, now we need to put him into our group. I will remove that one from the party now. Add this character. The other one still has the equipment, so, but I want to check first if that's actually the right path here. Cultural. Okay. Mind Steel. Gain your ability charms a 4 for 2 turns. More if upgraded. Gain your ability freeze an ally from hostile mental effects. Gives a 15% point chance each turn for freeing allies within 4 spaces of mental effects and curses. Oh. I mean, this seems like typical cleric stuff, but on the other hand, it might also be worth it to have that for, well, pretty much everyone actually. Yeah, but I think I want to have one of each of the factions, so I will take that. Okay, so let's kick him out again, remove, add him again, alright. Then we need to unequip his stuff. Yeah, full. Let's just have a look again. So had 1 majory, 2, 2, and 1. Okay. And alright. This is something we need to sell. I'm not sure. I think this one was for selling as well. Okay. Before I forget that, let's just set this there. Alright. I can just right click this stuff, right? Ah, no, we need to skill the character first. Alright, let's do that then. So magic, I need to use that one. 2 here, this, 2 here, and that's it. So for these things, I'm not using them yet. But of course, this charm, Mind Steal, that's a super powerful ability. And this might like turn around a lot of fights. So I'm not sure, maybe it's more useful to put that on. This is all heals and cures received by this character and all allies within 2 spaces, not necessarily a healer ability. And this is for attacking, so that's also not a healer ability. So that's probably a good choice for her. But the charm is just super powerful if it goes through, but then of course you can save scum. Okay, either way. Always gives you heals and blesses. Yeah, I need this because the healing is just too powerful to not train it, but next level up I will probably get that one then. And this also cures poison, bleeding, and curse. This is also great though. Oh, this is also just costing 2 energy, so maybe that completely replaces that. Either way, it's useful to use the Mind Steal instead next time. Okay, so we did the skill stuff. Oh, Ember Pole Shot. Ah yeah, this was not arcane gear, but this is a melee weapon. I mean, this is a melee weapon as well, right? He's not using that. It's actually giving a speed penalty. Maybe I shouldn't use that. And also get a staff. Yeah, I mean I can't use that, but yeah, this seems to be a bad idea actually. Arcane dagger, okay, I should replace that when possible. Also we need to just move him higher. Alright, cool. Okay, let's go out and back in, so just that he gets this energy. And we also need to set these heals here. Okay, so now we need to place some buildings. Let's start with these barracks. So buy buildings, we buy the barracks, yes, and we just place them here. Yeah. Out. then we will do the fort upgrade. Oh, this is down here. So maybe I missed that. No, I don't think I missed that. Yeah, let's do the guard tower. Upgrade fort. These are just passives anyways. But yeah, now we need to put the dedication here. And I think it was mentioned that we can improve them 4 times or something. Bring them to share heaven. Each level improves their reputation with the Rokai, making them more likely to help you. Also prove... No, it's not saying that. Yeah, this is probably the least useful in regards to game mechanics, but I don't know how it impacts like the story. I mean, this should have the best impact for the story. So I'm picking that again. I'm making myself into the beloved haven occupier. So yeah, we got that, and now we need to... Well, we can build a smithy, the apothecary for just another potion. Yes. Smithy, weavering room. Yeah, let's just build all of that. All right. Make a stall. Place smithy. Stall. And apothecary. And I think we can talk to that guy. The alchemist of your fort is waiting for you, surrounded by bubbling pots and bundles of dried herbs. If you want to change the potion stored in one of your flasks, your alchemist can do this. When you drink a potion during your adventure, it will be refilled when you return to one of the forts. You can also purchase runes to improve your okay. Can you make more flasks for me? The alchemist smiles. We are sorry that it's been taken so long, but we will finally manage to make another flask. You receive another healing potion. The materials for a proper flask are hard to find in the Rokai, but we will struggle to create another. That is all. Okay, nice. So we have another healing potion, and I think now every character is equipped. Actually, this... Okay. This character has 2 potions now, which is fine. Okay. And then we build the... Make a stall. I mean, we have enough money. We put the weaving room in here, and with that we get an additional bag. I would like a new rope, a coal, gloves, bigger backpack. Every time you buy 2 new weavers, the size of your backpack increases by 1. To get a bigger pack, install new weavers in your forts. A new rope. Okay, now we could buy something. Tier 2 arcane gear. Yeah, I'm not trying to buy. If I can't continue further, then I will start buying the stuff. Or once I've got all the forts built up, then of course I can also buy the stuff. But I don't see any point, and this is basically an issue with all RPGs in general, to buy stuff in the beginning if you then have no money to buy the better stuff at the end, and then you might have enemies at the very end which you are not able to beat because you can't buy the best stuff. So yeah, not going to buy that. And we built the carpenter here, and I don't think that he's good for anything. Let me see over. It's not to sell something. We just had this stuff here. Alright. See your wares. Bows, shields, wands. Oak wand. Main hand weapon, main hand weapon, main hand weapon. Yeah, this is 2 arcane. I mean, in theory, maybe we should buy that, because it's just silly to run around with that thing then. We need a one main hand item. Yeah, this is also level 1 arcane gear. I mean, he's not arcane, right? He has one skill in arcane, but a healer is not an arcane character. So he gets that, and then we will buy some level 2 arcane stuff for her. And then we basically improve the situation for 2 characters with damage. Probably not a whole lot, because the skills probably don't profit from that. But I think in this case it just makes sense. Main hand weapon. Level 2. Yeah, not enough carpenters. So we spent 105 on that, but you can see that the damage, the gold is increasing quite a bit here. But on the other hand, with the path I'm taking, with the fort upgrades, it's also getting cheaper and cheaper, so that's probably fine. Either way, I will get that stuff now. Yeah, this is a one hand, yeah, main hand. Yeah, let's take that. Thank you. That's fine. Cool. Alright, so that's it for today. As I expected, lots of talking. So, next time, what we'll do is we will first run north, and there's supposed to be some kind of dragon. So we will try to find and kill that dragon. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And after that, we will go to Jaja Gym, and then there's probably a lot of talking to be done, and that's probably then also what we will spend not the next, but the rest of the next, and then the episode after that doing, so that we talk with all the people there. And I guess after that we will be very busy in doing all the quests and exploration and so on. Then we have the major talking behind us. So that's it for now. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more of this series, new episodes every couple of days. So I hope to see you again next time. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.